warnings of strategic miscalculation reverberated through the BRICS summit on Thursday, as Russian President Vladimir Putin, speaking from Kazan, cautioned that those seeking to defeat Russia militarily are misguided and detached from historical realities. Delivered on the summit's closing day, Putin's forceful message reinforced Russia's resilience against Western pressure.
Such, frankly speaking, unhealthy methods and approaches lead both to the emergence of new conflicts and to the aggravation of old contradictions. An example of this is Ukraine, which has been and is being used to create credible threats to Russia's security, while ignoring our vital interests and the just concerns about the infringement of the rights of Russian-speaking people. And now they do not even hide the goal of inflicting a strategic defeat on our country. I will say frankly that these are illusory calculations that can only be made by those who do not know the history of Russia, who do not take into account the unity, strength of spirit, and cohesion of its people that has been forged over centuries.
Addressing an audience of emerging powers such as China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, Putin framed Russia's ongoing struggle as a battle against Western adversaries, grounded in both endurance and historical precedent. Putin argued that attempts to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia were rooted in ignorance of its historical resilience, declaring that such miscalculations could only be made by those unfamiliar with Russia's storied past. On the same day, Moscow's military ties with Pyongyang were brought into focus, with Russia's lower house of parliament ratifying a defense pact with North Korea. Speculations swirled as the Kremlin remained tight-lipped about reports suggesting that North Korea had sent thousands of troops for training in Russia, with the potential for deployment in Ukraine remaining unclear. Chinese President Xi Jinping, while cautioning against global instability, did not directly endorse Russia's actions. Instead, he stressed the need for peace across regions, particularly calling for ceasefires in Gaza and Lebanon, positioning BRICS as a platform for conflict resolution.
We must continue to promote a complete ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, restart the two-state solution, and prevent the spread of war in Lebanon. We must no longer allow people in Palestine and Lebanon to be plunged into an abyss of misery.
The summit highlighted the limits of unity within BRICS. Several members have pushed for an end to the Ukraine conflict, but Putin remains firm in his demands that Ukraine surrender territory in the south and east, a precondition that Kyiv has outright rejected as absurd. The gathering of global leaders in Kazan emphasized the strengthening of Russia's ties with non-Western powers like North Korea. Meanwhile, UN Secretary-General António Guterres reiterated his condemnation of Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territories, labeling it as incompatible with modern norms, though his mediation efforts have yet to yield progress. As the West continues to focus on isolating Moscow, Putin's BRICS speech reaffirmed Russia's strategy, rooted in its historical defiance, bolstered by new alliances, and undeterred by mounting global pressure.